And we're going to talk about some of the weird stuff. But first, I want to talk about the XP rates that I think make sense, and we're a long time coming with this. So, on that note, you can make the stone wall segments from your limestone bricks, and in doing this, you're looking at about 125,000 XP per hour. 125,000 XP per hour. You can do this at level 1.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Planks are, in effect, I think, the money-making method of this update, in that regular planks are 7.2k XP per hour, oaks 14k, teak 21, and mahogany 33-ish. Then if you go up to refined, you got 12.4 for regular, 24.8 for teak, and 37.3 teak, and 58 mahogany, 24.8 oak. Sorry about that. Then if we're talking about frames, that's 23.7k for regular frames, 47.5k for oak frames, 71.3k for teak frames, and 110.9k for mahogany frames. And the idea behind this is that planks will go into refined planks, and then refined planks go into frames. Costs 4 planks to make 1 refined plank, and then 3 refined planks to make 1 frame, and then all the buildings require a certain number of frames and 6 stone wall segments for that. And the way I see this, and we were talking about this before in pre-show, wondering who this was for. I think that limestone wall segment one is going to be a pretty good way of starting off construction training without needing to, in essence, break the bank, I think.
That's better. The rate of that stone is better than it feels, because I thought it was all token XP, essentially.
Yeah, and I mean, with this, you're looking at maybe taking yourself up to what, level 30, level 40 with this?
Yeah.
Ish, I think, on limestone wall. And then if you want to start looking at how to make money with the construction skill, if you don't want to use a plank maker, there's your options right there in either planks, refined planks, or frames. And of course, the question of how useful the refined planks and frames will be comes down to how many people will be training here at the fort, because after you build your buildings all up to tier 3, you can, of course, rebuild them for XP, and that's where the XP rates of this update become a little bit more murky, I think, in terms of where they land. And I only tested XP rates for items at level 1, 40, 80, and 99. So basically the 3 tiers of workshops and the third and final tier of the command center I tested for this. All of these are with 100% perfect build and 15% boost from your workshop XP. From your tier 3 workshop, because every time you level up your workshop, the first one gives you a 5% XP boost for construction in the fort, the second one 10%, third one 15%, and at level 1 that's 55k XP per hour to build level 1 workshops. With what we just talked about here with limestone, you're not going to do that to level 40. You're going to do limestone wall segments instead of tier 1 workshops. Then at level 40, you're looking anywhere between 155 and 170,000 XP per hour with the tier 2 workshop. And then for tier 3, the tier 3 workshop at level 80, you're looking anywhere between 235 and 256 KXP an hour. Then it gets really weird with the command center, the tier 3 command center at level 99. This was a 20-minute test extrapolated out with the rune metrics worked into it. Rune metrics with the higher XP dump says this is going to be about 250,000 XP per hour. But on the lower end, if you extrapolate it out, somewhere between 215. So what I don't get is why a tier 3 command center at level 99 is less XP than a tier 3 workshop at level 80. Which it shouldn't be that way, because if you look at the actual XP numbers on the wiki, it says that the command center is 36,000. But the tier 3 town hall's 26,000. And I know how to do math. And this is like, I even got Rune Metrics here to double check what I was doing, and Rune Metrics confirmed my numbers.
Let me really blow your mind, Shane. So 99, that's 19 more levels than 80, right? Last I checked.
Yeah, and at least
That checks out.
You know what level it takes to do the best prawn broker?
74, right?
80.
Oh.
But
I thought the Flotsam was 73.
Is it 73? I thought it was around 80. Regardless, it ain't 99.
Flotsam is 73.
Okay. So 70, that's even worse. That just makes my point even more. 73. Okay.
I see where you're going with this. Like, and the construction training method behind this is fun. It's how you would do a construction rework, and that's where we thought we were going with this earlier in the week. But the XP is not here to back this up.
No.
And what I think needs to happen with this is that either buff the perfect build modifier, which is picky on its own side. We'll get into that when we talk about accessibility. Or buff the boost that the Tier 3 workshop gives you from, say, 15 to, I don't know, 35, maybe 50% to make it not as good as the high intensive Flotsam prawn brokers, but at least competitive.
Well, it needs to be, so for me, it needs to be at the least, okay, if you're not going to match prawn brokers, okay, there is an argument to be made about lean forward play.
Yeah. But
that same argument can't be made using a portable workbench and doing AFK mahogany flat packs.
That's an important distinction.
And so it should at least match those levels. Because that's AFK. Just the same. In fact, it's more AFK. You don't have to follow around a perfect build sprinkle.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, because AFK is even worse. Like less than 100% build is even worse.
And you know, it took a number of tries to get that 100% perfect build for the testing here too. So.
Oh yeah, it's not easy to get. So well, I mean, it's not hard, but
there's easier things to follow around in game is the point. And and that's the whole weird thing about this is that aside from the limestone processing to make the wall segments and the ability to now make our own planks, I'm left asking, who is this update for XP wise?